what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. When your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Do you have something?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yeah, you guys. Oh, okay. Well, once again, just like last week, I think we spent ourselves on the
pre-show.
The pre-show show.
Yep. This is the At Odd Show. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
And it's Thursday. It's February 8th, 2018. We're in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. Where at, Nate?
Tequamanon Falls. Australia.
That's not anywhere near where I thought we were.
No, you thought we were there, but the weather outside seems
It's
more
frightful.
like... but the fire is just...
Delightful. Really, that's what we did? All right, so Tequamanon Falls, those are the beautiful root beer falls in the Upper Peninsula of the great state of Michigan.
Yeah, I love root beer. I love Michigan.
You like Michigan root beer?
I love Michigan root beer.
And waterfalls.
And waterfalls.
I love waterfalls.
So I like...
peaceful.
I like...
What do you like?
Root beer, but I like it to have more of a vanilla flavor than licorice flavor. So I prefer like a mug root beer to like Barks.
I like A&W.
A&W also, it's nice and vanilla, creamy flavor. I love black licorice, but but when I'm drinking root beer, that's not what I want.
Our friend Doug Holloway, who is a great supporter of gun rights.
Are you going to tell me he brews root beer?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah, he puts a little bit of pine in his root beer.
Oh.
So it has kind of a sprucey, piney flavor to it.
Huh.
So,
no idea.
it was all right. I prefer the vanilla.
Yeah. No, that sounds pretty good. It's kind of like a tequila.
Too, but now he's too busy with his business. Doing gun striations and gunsmithing and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. ATEI guns, right?
ATEI.
ATEI, is it guns?
I don't know.
ATEI, anyway.
I think that's just what it is.
Look him up on Instagram.
Facebook and
really cool stuff.
They've got a website.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They do a lot of trigger jobs. They'll make your triggers as smooth as silk.
I see most of their pictures on Instagram, and it's pretty cool stuff.
All right. So, speaking of guns, the Second Amendment March this year is going to be on Wednesday, June 20th.
Yes, in June.
We're looking for vendors. We got a lot of people asking.
There has been a lot of interest. We just today announced vendor tables, $50 a slot. We just announced them, and we're already getting close to being full.
Right.
I mean, we're bumping up on max.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We'll have to talk about, do we want to have a cutoff? Do we want to expand the tent? Do we want to put some tables outside? What do we want to do? I mean, just the support, it's been awesome, and the interest in tables has been great this year. I think it being in June helps because the weather's who knows, it's probably nicer. Going to snow, like I said, and be 4 degrees and windy like every other year. But it should be nice.
It could be 60 degrees.
Oh, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. 60 degrees, overcast. That's my ideal.
Yeah, but most people like 75 degrees and overcast.
Most people are wrong.
I think so. So keep checking the Facebook page for updates. We're going to have speakers and keynotes and all that stuff coming up.
Yeah, so that's facebook.com/2amarch or go to 2amarch.com for information.
Well, last week I promised I would talk a little bit about my trial that I was
everybody thought you forgot. I got so many emails saying, do not mention it. He probably forgot. And I didn't mention it. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
I don't have to go into it.
Sorry.
No, I'm not going to go into it.
No, let's talk about it.
No.
Yeah, I want to hear the story of the trial.
I forgot what it was about.
I know. It's been 2 weeks.
No, I was an expert witness in a trial.
Yeah.
And it was a firearm-related trial. It was the reckless use, carry, or discharge of a firearm. It's a misdemeanor up to 90 days. It's $1,000 in court costs and fines. You lose your CPL for 8 years, and you lose your hunting privileges for up to 3 years if
Holy
convicted.
cow.
So this guy was shooting in a backyard range, and it was, I want to say quasi out in the country, but there were houses in the area.
Sure.
And they were hunting in the direction of houses that were up on a hill about 700 yards away. And they were shooting downwards into a wetland area. And they were using 308s, 223s, and 9mm handguns.
Okay.
And they shot a lot for like 2 or 3 hours, and they were rapid firing and having a good time. There was 4 people. It was the landowner and 3 of his friends. And they didn't have a berm, which didn't help their case.
Oh, of course.
But they were shooting towards the ground at a foam self-sealing target, and there were lots of trees and lots of brush there. In my opinion, it was relatively safe. But 911 got a call from a homeowner that said that he had to hit the ground with his little granddaughter because bullets were going over his head.
How'd he know?
Well, it sounded like this. And zing, zing, zing.
Pating, pating.
Which is good because they say you don't hear the one that hit you. So,
can I just say something?
Yeah.
As the ballistics expert that I am?
Sure.
I don't think he heard that.
No, that's what he actually said that in court. He made sounds like that.
I don't believe it.
Well, that's what our ballistic expert said. He probably didn't hear those because those rifles go at supersonic speed. So he said it's more of a crack, real fast crack, because it's a sonic boom type, tiny sonic boom. But we'll get into that because the prosecutor covered that. So anyways, all they have to do is let's see. So they get a 911 call, gunshots. So the county deputies go out there, and they approach the guys, and they look everything over and talk to them and say, hey, your neighbors are complaining, noise, bullets are going over. He says, but it looks okay to us. And they left. They didn't tell them to stop.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But one officer said that, well, this is in Michigan. So he said, well, I don't think you can target shoot here because you got to be 450 feet away from a occupied building. And in Michigan, that's not true. When you're target shooting, that safety zone doesn't apply. It only applies when you're hunting. So he left, and he contacted a DNR officer and was told that indeed was the law.
Yeah.
So they came back again, another complaint. Now there's more cars showing up. They're driving up and down the street, and they ended up going and talking to the guy 4 times. But never once did they say, this is reckless, this is dangerous, stop shooting. So later that night, all 4 of the guys get arrested for this reckless use of a firearm. They all go down to jail, fingerprinted, photographed, and all that. Jeez. And then they're released. And then, I don't know, a few days later, the prosecutor drops the charges against the 3 guests, and they just go after the property owner.
Uh-huh.
Because really what it comes down to is these neighbors hated this guy.
Go figure.
And they wanted to stop him shooting, whether it was safe or not. That
neighbors didn't happen to be anti-gun or anything, were they?
A little bit.
Oh, weird.
They said they weren't, but I think they were, because this guy had been trying to stop target shooting in the township for a long time. He was involved with the township. He was connected. He wrote editorials in the local paper, and he talked to all the neighbors trying to go after this guy. See, all of those people, they belonged to a homeowners association, and this defendant did not. He was the outsider, young guy.
Sure.
And he had owned 4 or 5 acres there. Well, the police also said they saw holes in the trees that were like 8 and 9 feet high. And they said they had to be shooting that high because those are bullet or bullet holes, I know I'm a veteran.
Military veteran?
Yeah, military veteran. The cop said that.
And is part of military training identifying bullet holes in trees?
That's trees 101. That's botany. That's ballistic botany. Yeah. So
all right.
You can actually get a degree at that at Harvard.
Oh, I believe that.
Which is kind of sad.
I believe that. But they're not allowed to use real bullets at Harvard because it's scary.
Right.
But I get, okay.
So I get called by the attorney representing him. I knew who the attorney was, and he asked me, would I be interested in doing the topography to show the rise and the level
being
of the land.
Geologist.
Being a geologist.
Yeah.
And I said, sure. And he talked about the case a little bit, and I said, woodpecker holes look a lot like bullet holes. Can he definitively say those are bullet holes? He goes, oh, that's a good point. And I looked up woodpecker and bullet holes and stuff, and it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, some are obvious, but some aren't.
Sure.
And I said, what you ought to do is have 10 pictures of woodpecker holes and ask him which one are bullet holes.
Yeah.
And if he says any of them, then you can say, well, there's funny. They're all. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to piss off the judge and the prosecutor.
No, that's
tricky stuff. But I think I would have done it if I were a lawyer.
Of course you would have. That's why you've been such a successful lawyer.
That's why I've been disbarred in 14 states.
Your law career is just going real well.
I am still licensed in Guatemala. Guatemalan laws.
Who isn't?
Yeah. So it didn't start out well. But anyways, it was a long day. I'll go there.
Yeah.
And so the three guys, remember the three guys that were arrested and released?
I remember them, yeah.
They ended up being witnesses for the prosecution.
They're real good friends then.
So they kind of...
They won't be back over there shooting.
Yeah, they kind of turned on him. And one guy says, well, yeah, I wouldn't shoot the 308 because it was way too dangerous to be shooting there with that 308. That 225 or 223 was fine.
Yeah, no, moron.
So it didn't go well. And it was a six-person jury, 3 men, 3 women. And all the jurors were surprising on the same demographic. They were all older than 50, I would guess. It was strange. They were all between 50 and 65.
Members of homeowner associations.
Yeah, probably. And this was the town where we had the $25 scotch.
Holy cow.
Remember that?
For one shot.
One shot.
One drink of it, yeah. One glass. Glass, is that what you call it? Is it a glass?
Yeah, a drink.
That was expensive.
Yes, it was.
But it's about the experience.
And I paid for it, so it didn't cost you anything.
So it was worth it. We should go back.
Yeah, no, we're not ever going back. So the prosecution had about, 12 witnesses.
Holy cow.
And I had to be sequestered. All the witnesses had to be out in the hallway, so I couldn't even sit and watch the trial. And it went on forever.
Yeah.
It was 6 p.m. before I was even called in. And
we were supposed to have a show that night.
Yeah, we had to cancel. The defense had 2 witnesses, 2 expert witnesses. They had a ballistic guy and a geologist.
Okay.
The geologist did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would have mattered, but the defendant testified. They say you should never testify in your own trial because they can rip you apart.
Sure.
And he did not help himself with some of the things he said.
Yeah.
But I think the jury's mind was up. Now, remember, this is now about 7:30 at night. The trial's still going on.
Yeah.
It's just wrapping up.
Everyone's tired. They want to go home.
The jury is brain dead.
Yeah.
They've been there for 12 hours.
It's a brilliant tactic by the prosecution.
Well, the judge asked them about 5. They said, do you want to come back tomorrow or do you want to finish up? And they didn't want to come back. And 2 of the people on the jury had already served in a trial earlier that week.
Oh, yeah. So they were done.
And that didn't help. So then you wrap up, and the prosecution went on for he goes, when a prosecutor says, I'm only going to be a minute, you might as well just sit back, start eating popcorn, because he went on forever with his, and he kept changing the ballistics. He said those bullets travel at 2,000 feet per second, and then it was 3,000 feet, and then it was 6 million feet per second.
That's a fast bullet.
Those bullets can go 10, 20, 30 miles,
They
before
go
they
7
touch ground.
billion feet per second, but they're subsonic, so you hear them